Welcome everyone, and those who are watching the second week of the blog. This week was an interesting week. I took a couple of days and actually went to Vegas and came back with some of their money. I won't say how much, but I had to fill out a W-2G form. So that'll be reported on the taxes to the IRS. In addition to that, I went to the doctor, and the rheumatologist's main concern now, I guess, is the pulmonary hypertension. She has prescribed me some extra medicine to try to open up those veins and arteries in the heart in order to stop the heart from working so hard. Let's put it that way. Other than that, some people were saying that maybe I should start the blog a little differently instead of just saying hello everyone. And one of the things is maybe have it as a captain's log. So as Cisco once did, he had a captain's log and it sounded like this.
Captain's log, stardate 509 to 9.4.
Or if not a captain's log, then maybe have Michael Buffer introduce me. And Michael Buffer, if you recall, used to do a lot of the boxing shows and wrestling shows and things like that, and is famous for, or should I say is famous for, let's get ready to rumble. So we'll play Michael Buffer.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
So good for Michael. But I decided to not go that route. This is fun but serious and informative, and I want to keep it informative. Been subscribing to a lot of things on pulmonary arterial hypertension as well as scleroderma, and reading and increasing my knowledge so that I'm more educated when I talk to the doctors who are really educated and study this stuff on a daily basis. I still work on a daily basis. As you can see, I'm not in work clothes right now, but I did go to work today. It is one of those days where you still have to go in and do payroll and calculate things so people get paid, so I had to do that. It's a nice day outside, so I got my car washed. And when a person has a disease such as I do, they tend to do things that just to get a little spice in their life. Excuse me. One of the things I did is I took my Range Rover, which had been old and started to give me problems, and traded it in for a Mustang. So here's a video clip of the Mustang. As you can see, I got the convertible, and I fixed it up a little bit and put some stripes on it and windshield there to block the wind when the top is down and things like that. It's pretty fun to drive, and I've modified the exhaust and done the Charles things that Charles would do. I used to be a president of a Mustang club back in the day, so it's one of the things I do. I drive around in my Mustang, pretend I'm back in the day, listen to some Earth, Wind, and Fire or some, Rick James or maybe a little Commodores and blast some music and, flashback a little bit. So that's what I do. One of the things I was able to acquire this week was a championship belt. This is one of the ultimate fighting battles that I'll have to do in my life, and one of the things I got, let me show you, is a Ultimate Fighter championship belt, and this thing weighs about 15 pounds. It's pretty solid, not real gold, but heck, it weighs a lot. It looks pretty good. So hopefully I'll be able to wear this belt a couple of years from now and be the Ultimate Fighter champion and would have won the battle on this. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, put that back down. Other than that, let me show you a picture of what the doctors say my lungs look like now. Here's a picture there, and then above the picture it says, pulmonary fibrosis is a disease marked by the scarring in the lungs. Tissue deep in the lungs becomes thick, stiff, and scarred. Scarring is called fibrosis. As the lung tissue becomes scarred, it interferes with a person's ability to breathe. So as you can see at the bottom of the picture that's the damaged part where the arrows are. That is what my lung looks like. And that part of the lung has the inability to filter out oxygen from the blood flow. So even if you take a deep breath, no air is going to get down to that part of the lung, which makes it to where your breaths are shorter, shortness of breath, and then your ability to breathe normally. If you notice that it's just part of the lung and not all of it, so if you're sitting sedentary like I am now, and you're watching TV or you're doing, something that's texting or on your computer, you're fine. Um, as soon as you start to do things that people take for granted as far as breathing, like for example, if you lift weights, most people when they lift weights, they hold their breath and lift the weight up. Somebody with this condition has to practice to be able to breathe while you do things. So, for example, um, be able to say, I'm going to carry something upstairs, which is carrying something one thing. Up the stairs is two. Walking is three. So you have to concentrate on yourself when you're exerting yourself with strength to be able to say, hold on a second, think, breathe, 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 in order to complete the task. Some tasks you just can't do because of the amount of air that normally you would take in. So a good example is I see people who go walking, and they'll go walking in the evenings and just for exercise after they've eaten a meal or whatever. Um, that task for uh, distance is too much to ask for someone suffering such as I. So to go to the mall and say, let's go shopping, well, it used to be to where I would walk through the mall very quickly, um, know exactly what I wanted to be done. At this point, I'd really want to stop at a lot of the stores and browse and look. It allows me to catch my breath. So those types of things are one of the things that change. The other thing is to be able to, like I mentioned in the last video, you lose a lot of weight. So this shirt, I wore this shirt because it matches the hat and the pants and whatever. But the other thing about this shirt is we notice it's too big. Right down here, this should be up like that. This shirt, when I bought the shirt, was too small. It was very, very tight. And now it's one of the only shirts I've saved that is from the old size. This was an extra large. I used to wear extra large. Now I'm down to a medium to large, depending on the brand and the style of the shirt. Um, so I have to watch that because you have a tendency to say, "Hey, let me just go buy a bunch of more clothes." Well, I don't know if I'm going to gain or lose weight, so you only buy a handful, and you wear your handful for now, and hopefully you gain weight. Because if you're gaining weight, then that means that I'm eating better. That means that I'm pushing the food down, even though the taste isn't there because of the chemotherapy drugs I take every day. But it means that I'm not working the heart as much, which is one of the larger muscles in the body. And if you work that hard so much, it burns calories. It burns calories, you lose weight, and here you are with all your clothes that don't fit. And the doctors are wondering why you're still losing weight if you're eating right. So, and anyway, running out of air now, trying to have this conversation. But those are some of the things that I face day to day, week to week, and hopefully it gives people a better insight for those who may know other people who are facing this thing. And the other thing, if you are shortness of breath and having problems like this, go to the doctor and make sure they do thorough checkups. One of the problems I had was a couple of years ago, shortness of breath. Went to a clinic. The clinic then sent me to a hospital. Everybody thought I was having a heart attack. Kept me in the hospital for 3 days, and then cut me loose, and never found out that I was suffering from scleroderma and the hypertension. And the problem is as the time went by, and no one checking and no one trying to figure out what was going on, things got worse. And as things gotten worse, And finally, it was probably a year later or so, they figured out what the problem was. I could have saved the time on my heart, on my lungs, and stopped the progression with the medications so that I would be a lot better off than I am today. But hopefully, I don't get any worse and I'm able to just continue on this way. So, those are the uh, dreams and hopes of the doctors, and it's what I hope you guys and those listening and I pray for is that worst case scenario, I stay like I am, I continue on like I am, and I have a full, rich life. We'll see how long the full and the rich can last. Another thing is that if you'd like to leave comments or things like that, leave them at the bottom of the videos here. Um, some people have texted me or hit me up on Facebook and emails and things like that. I prefer to go here on the video comments so that when searches are made on the internet for scleroderma and pulmonary hypertension, this video will come up and people will be able to see and understand what other people are dealing with. I mean, the site automatically links to those other videos and other links already. It's something I did earlier. And it allows people to share information and then maybe get a better understanding. And that's the key, to get a better understanding. In some of the upcoming videos, I will recap some of the things that have happened, not only in the week, but throughout my life, so people can get a better understanding of who I am and what type of person I am, to be able to do these videos, face the things that I'm facing, and still uh, try to perform day-to-day duties, go to work, support myself, things like that. Uh, the purpose of these videos, like I said, is informative. It's not about trying to generate funds. I can pay my own bills. It's not about trying for sympathy from people. If you, those who don't know me know that I'm very unsympathetic. It's more about just me getting it off my chest and those around me, family, friends, to be able to have the knowledge of what I'm dealing with. So for this week, I will sign off. I will take my uh, championship belt and I will have a good week. Um, Short week of work this week. I'm only working 4 days. I got jury duty, believe it or not, tomorrow. So that should be interesting. For those who know me, my background, I'm on jury duty. Can you believe it? But leave it to the state of California for that one. So, signing off again for another week. This is Charles, and I'm out.